This XFL Picks Week 10 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use promo code SGPNBA to get 10% off everything in the store.
Hey, this is Jeremy Roenick, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
You look very nice today, Sean.
Thank you. Joining us here to talk Extreme Football League is Colby Dant, host of the USFL Gambling Podcast. What's happening, Colby?
It's where the X stands for where crossroads meet, Sean.
Again, we have to personally apologize to your. I mean, you went to the you fellow high school alumnus.
Yes,
and you're going to disrespect the Rock by misname
at the Freedom High School reunion. I'm going to bring it up to the Rock. I'm gonna get right in his face, and I go, "Hey, it's an extreme football league, and crossroads opportunity. That doesn't make a lick of sense."
Well, they realize that
put the extreme back in extreme football. Do you smell what I'm cooking?
While you're at it, bring the kickoff back.
Do they serve freedom fries there?
Yes, they don't serve any fucking French fries. They laid down. They laid down easier than the Orlando Guardians in World War II.
I gotta be honest. I am still surprised in the times that we live in that there's a number of states that haven't legislated the change of the name of French fries. It does seem like I mean, in 2023, I didn't expect to still be calling them French fries.
We got to find that George W. sound drop where he talks about, I'm gonna go get some freedom fries.
Listen,
we love freedom here at the Extreme Football League Sports Gambling Podcast edition,
where the crossroads meet here at Sports Gambling Podcast.
I mean, should change the name of the XFL Gambling Podcast to Opportunity Meets Talent Gambling Podcast Football League.
I mean,
I like it.
Look, you can't call yourself extreme and not have a kickoff.
Exactly. You know what is extreme? I got my sweet Bobby Boucher Waterboy jersey, courtesy of our good buddies over at. Well, I don't even know if I should give them free publicity, but I did get it on Amazon for only. It was like $20 on Amazon.
That was the first ever Ed Orgeron appearance in that movie, right?
Yeah,
I'm bleeping that out.
Yeah, bleep that out. They don't need any free press.
I don't know if I haven't shared this with you. I haven't shared this publicly, but I'm not currently. We're taking a little time off, me and Amazon.
Oh, really?
That commercial with the chick with the mustache get to you?
I can do better.
That commercial. What would you rather watch?
I can do better than shopping Amazon.
The girl in the yellow vest with the mustache or the Dr. Pimple Popper ads? Because I have the same reaction from both ads that you're just getting a shit ton of in the playoffs.
Kid Rock stayed away from Amazon.
I can tell you,
I had him at plus 200.
I know you guys don't seem to believe me, but as I've gotten older, I have figured out a way to tune out ads. Like the Burger King ad that was driving the entire world crazy.
Well, you also don't watch. I watch sports. I watch it.
See, here we go. Sean only sees what he sees
with the sound on.
Put the blinders around. What's going on over here?
All the commercials are from.
No, I know,
sports.
but what I'm trying to tell you is like maybe it's a kid's thing, but they're like if I don't want to, it tunes out.
You know what's worse though about the whole shift to like YouTube TV and Amazon.
The
and
repeat
things.
ads.
Yeah, we just get just force fed.
So I was working at a major streaming company now 6 years ago, and they were trying to solve this problem then. Like the idea of serving, because it's like, well, the algorithm says you like this kind of stuff, so I'm going to show it to you twice.
It's just overkill.
Well, and I think
I agree.
Pulling back the curtain, I think it's because they have trouble selling.
Yeah.
Selling that amount of inventory.
I'm just saying, when I watched the 1986 Eagles Giants game with commercials that some fine soul has put up on YouTube, you got a little diversity. You know what I mean?
I get it.
I mean. Yeah, and shout out to our friend Hoops Peterson, who has a whole like thread of tweets pointing out that he's getting Pennsylvania Senate race commercials from the fall in Nevada. So
I do miss the Wendy's commercials where you'd have like supermodels meet at the salad bar in Wendy's.
Oh yeah,
they're eating healthy, right? Yeah. Fried chicken salad and Diet Coke.
Groundbreaking.
Hell yeah, yeehaw! That's a slim fixin' in Mississippi.
Like Christy Brinkley and Kathy Ireland meet at the salad bar. Come on, let's go.
You know it's about to go down.
Also, a good way to have a Courtney Love situation, right? You got to be careful with too many of those greasy animal fats.
What was Dave Thomas really doing? They didn't cut corners on the burger. They got the square burger. What else did they not cut corners on, Sean?
Well, little known fact about Wendy's salad bar. Prior to like 5 years ago, or basically until they discontinued the salad bar, Wendy's was the largest purchaser of kale. Like Wendy's was driving the entire kale market, and it was just for like that lettuce that they put around the salad bar items.
That's why Patty C believes Wendy's is healthy.
Yeah, because they have so much kale. And meanwhile, it's like it's for decoration, but they still were buying the most kale in America.
Why did the pandemic kill Patty C? Not the actual disease, but the fact that it killed the salad bar at Wendy's.
The chili went away as well.
The sneeze guard went away.
Now all he can do is pick up.
It's the main source of vitamins.
I gotta be honest. There used to be a Sizzler on Hollywood and Highland, and I never ate there, but I did get pissed drunk there one time with bottled Bud Lights as I watched a few friends tackle the salad bar there pre-COVID.
I was trying to figure out where you were going. That's back when Sizzler was known for their salad bar. It's like the breadsticks and
the waitress was dumbfounded that I did not want food. I was like, no, but keep the Bud Lights coming.
I'm just here for the party.
Really? See, you don't want to hit the buffet, aka the salad bar.
Chad is alive and well. Terrell Furman, led true dog, is checking in. Dear Lord, is backyard football still going on? It is. It's almost time for the playoffs. We also got ZD Mills saying he put his mortgage on NJG -2.5 from the USFL podcast. Looking for more winners. Before we get to the picks for the episode, it's time for this edition of Real Men of Degens.
Ooh.
SGPN presents Real Men of Degens. Real Men of Degens. We salute you.
Shanghai Sharks. That's right. The Shanghai Sharks have been disqualified from the Chinese Basketball Association playoffs after reportedly fixing a playoff game. Including Eric Bledsoe and Michael Beasley. They have been disqualified. The Dragons were beating the Sharks 196 with less than 2 minutes to go, but the visitors then committed 5 consecutive turnovers, leading to a 10-0 run from the Sharks, who eventually won 108-104 to clinch the series 2-1 and reach the quarterfinals. Both teams' head coaches and GMs have been banned from the CBA and have been fined. Highly recommend checking out the video, because the video of them intentionally fixing the game is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You think it looks obvious?
Oh my God, yeah, it's great.
Were they playing LeBron?
What?
I'm getting my Chinese leagues confused.
Oh wow! Jesus, go! Whoa!
But hey, Eric Bledsoe, you're a better man than I. Because if I was going to fix a game, I would probably do it in like Puerto Rico or Bolivia or something.
Hey, I wouldn't I wouldn't mess around with fixing games in China.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a bold move.
They're everywhere.
Very bold move.
One of the few intelligence agencies that is at least as strong as ours.
Yeah, how did they get away with it? They just, I mean, anything you're doing, they probably talked about it on TikTok.
I mean, you want to be scared. Like they have all the advanced AI research is happening over there. Like we're fucked. They're already building.
Didn't
the
like a UCLA player was about to get sentenced? They played an exhibition in China,
right?
for like stealing like a purse or something.
They had the president had to make a phone call to get.
So what's going on with you fixing multiple players fixing games, ruining their sports?
Well, maybe the price was right. Maybe there was. Yeah, think about it. All right, so. Again, and what I'm actually learning right now is he's playing for the Shanghai Sharks right now.
Shanghai Sharks.
Sean?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Bledsoe?
How are those hands going? Yeah, no, he's playing for the Sharks because I didn't realize, but since 2014 he's basically been bouncing back and forth between the NBA and the Chinese league. Makes me think he's got some other hobbies over there. But because he played for the Shanghai Sharks in 2014, 2015, the Shandong Golden Stars 2015, 2016.
Long.
And then the Guangdong Southern Tigers.
I'm not gonna blame.
Sorry, the soundboard's broken.
I'm not gonna blame Eric Bledsoe because I think there might be a situation where his family was at. They
didn't. Eric Bledsoe probably didn't care about winning the game. You don't play in China because you care about winning.
No.
It's probably some big money China guys.
That's what I'm saying. They're probably held his family hostage.
They're just pawns in this game.
I'll never forget going to. I was in Chinatown in San Francisco in the late '90s early 2000s, and I went to a bar that was closing down for last call, but I had tipped the bartender good, and he's just like, "Stick around, we're doing a bunch of high stakes poker," right? And I saw just the whole like Chinese mafia come into that, and I felt like I was in Big Trouble Little China.
Pull the cord, get out of there.
This was incredible. This was incredible. I was fascinated. So I can only imagine what goes on over there.
They're literally called the Guangdong Southern Tigers.
Guangdong.
It's like
Long
it's
dong.
like the yin and the yang, right? Because you have the dong and the pussy, the southern pussy.
Long Dong Silvers.
A southern tiger, isn't that code for?
Where's Orgeron?
Let's get to the picks before we do. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Ken, NBA playoffs are here. NHL playoffs are here. What better way to get in on some playoff action than heading over to Underdog Fantasy, where you can combine player props, aka parlay those things together, legal in a bunch of states. So if you can't legally get down on player props, Underdog Fantasy is a great workaround. Obviously, MLB, NBA, NHL daily games going as well. And their Best Ball Mania, the Best Ball Draft is coming. They're going to have millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs this summer. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use the promo code SGPN. 100% deposit bonus up to $100. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. And, of course, the merch store. Make sure you head over to the merch store. Use that promo code SGPNBA. Get 10% off everything. And perfect time to grab those Mike Leach Swing Your Sword.
Those are fantastic
shirts that we just put out. We just ordered some for us in the studio. They're awesome. Great way to celebrate the life of one Mike Leach. Head over there, store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Promo code SGPNBA.
He had two-time All-Star in the Chinese Basketball Association. So
have they built the statue for Marbury
Michael
yet?
Beasley.
Starbury.
Again, the
Knicks. I think the Knicks are still paying
and the
him.
early reports of those leagues were like the stadiums would be filled with smoke because you could smoke in the stadium. So people are just
fantastic.
They're just ripping heaters watching
Fantastic.
basketball. All right, let's see. I guess I should have the XFL sheet open. Oh, what a come down! Going from China to the XFL.
While you're talking, of course, you and I are tied. While you're finding your sheet, 18-14 ATS. You're
oh wow.
We're both 56% against the spread. Colby 16-12, although he has 2 weeks of lost records. We don't know
yeah, when I happened to go I was fired those weeks too, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, my dogs are 38%, but my locks 63%. You're welcome, America.
All right, let's get started. Last week of the season, are we excited for the postseason?
Colby, walk us through the playoff implications because we have to know that going into this
Here's
game.
what's great, and I don't know if this happened on purpose or if this happened naturally, but all 4 games have implications.
Really?
Yeah, all 4 games have implications.
I guess when you only have 8 teams and 4 of them make the playoffs, it's easy to set this up.
No, but the USFL last year did not in their final week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we thought that last week we kind of thought that there'd be one game that would matter maybe next week. But
I love the way you say
here
we.
with 4. Yeah,
Love the way you say we.
Society. All right.
Society is
Talking
tuned
to
in.
someone on the subway about the XFL.
Really?
Yeah.
Why were you on the subway?
I was on the subway this morning, Sean.
What?
Really?
Interesting.
The subway to the sea?
I'm a man of mystery. All right.
I mean, we don't have to get right to the picks.
How do you end up on a subway?
Anything you want to clear your mind?
No, I took it from Santa Monica to Culver City. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just looking for some dicks to suck.
Just you know.
Sean's looking up the subway map right now.
I am. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you didn't know you could do that, did you? Huh?
I didn't know I
come
couldn't
right
do
in
that.
by the Culver Hotel. You know what I mean? Right there with Sony
That's
Pictures.
Crazy. How convenient.
Yeah.
The LA subway, for those who have never been to LA, is only useful if you live in some very specific areas. So Colby showing that the utility is
I've been
there.
taking the subway since I moved out here, man.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
What's a ride cost nowadays?
It's like $2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Colby, you should take it into work here.
Well, it doesn't come exactly right here though. Got to go downtown. Then what?
Well, let's get
No, you
down.
can get it up to you can get up to Highland Park. Take a little.
Highland Park?
That's a couple mile walk.
Hitch a ride with the old
There you go.
shopping cart.
Hey,
Kazoo.
I'll never be bigger than the subway, guys. All right.
Oh, here we go.
I know you're bigger into the other subway. You were a big supporter of Jared,
Sean?
right?
How dare you.
Sean, dirty little secret about the subway.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Loves to play in the dome.
Oh,
It is an indoor train.
not the Culver City one.
It's an indoor train.
No, it's not.
Well, then we gotta
Santa Monica,
we gotta
Santa
call
Monica
that,
to Culver City is right next to the
It's called the
405.
Metro, then, right? It's not a subway.
Is that your favorite band?
And
Metro?
above, and above. That's how I feel sometimes. All right, 9 a.m. on Saturday, April 22nd. The Orlando Guardians face the St. Louis Battlehawks. -9, huge number here. -365 on the money line, plus 300 for the Guardians. 48 is the total. I feel like if you were to go back and look, I'd probably get the Guardians wrong every week.
Yeah, they've been a hard team to pigeonhole. But look, this one. So St. Louis and Seattle. So
I
Seattle
was on the Brahmas last week. That was easy
God,
money.
here we go.
So I'm sorry, I completely ignored Sean's question prior. So St. Louis.
Hold on. First, ask Sean, is there anything you'd like to tout?
No, I already
Okay,
got my
got
touting out of the way.
Now you can say your point.
St. Louis and Seattle. So Seattle won at St. Louis. So
Yes.
Seattle's also up by 19 points. So essentially, St. Louis has to beat Orlando by more than 19.
Yes.
Essentially, so I mean, like the over. I think we got to play the over here, just because St. Louis is not in a situation where they have to win.
This is the
They have to win and score a shit ton of points.
This is like pre-playoff computer beauty points when they had point differential. You run up the score, and it gives you a little bit more value.
This is where you play the Bobby Bowden clip. Well, in track, do you slow up at the end of the race?
That's true. You know,
Right?
they actually do. If you're winning by half a lap, they might actually slow up a little bit.
Well, anyway, so there's that going on. So, but Seattle needs to win. St. Louis needs to win, and St. Louis needs to score a lot of points. Then, for the other game, DC San Antonio. San Antonio's still alive. That game's on Saturday. So if San Antonio loses, then Arlington clinches on Sunday, and that game becomes useless. But if San Antonio wins, then Arlington has to win against Houston, and that's going to be a matchup that we see next week if Arlington does.
Oh, we have some of that. Could play 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Oh,
Yeah.
and where are we at with resting their starters in the XFL? Do they bother?
This would be the real week where we see. Last week DC did not, but DC also needed to lock down home field. This would be the one, I think, that we would see either DC or Houston rest their starters.
Why are Brahmas 50-1 to win it all? I mean, their path to the playoffs are relatively easy, right? They just win and they're in. Right?
No. Brahmas need to win and Arlington needs to lose.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they're
Arlington's favored
by 1 point.
Yeah, it's
Brahmas at 50-1. Where are you getting these, Ryan?
DK.
Okay, might have to get down on these. See what they're limiting people. I mean, the Brahmas to win it all.
Sean, on a Tuesday, I was able to get down for 1,100 on a USFL game. So, assuming that this league isn't fixed, this is actually a good test to see if it's fixed. Let's look what the maxes are on the XFL.
St. Eric Bledsoe's involved with the XFL.
So your logic being that the Battlehawks have to win by a fuckload of points, so they're going to try to put it on them.
Yeah,
they are gonna. You got to take the over in that game.
That's why the spread's 9.
But I don't think they're capable. I think you got to take the points with Guardians.
Okay, so one more time, because I've gotten the Guardians wrong the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we take the points. Quentin Storm and Normandy Beach is a stud.
I'm still trying to find the last time I got a Guardians game.
Because check us out. If St. Louis just wins, say St. Louis wins by 3, they're still alive to make the playoffs if Seattle loses to Vegas.
Last time I got a Guardians game right, it was week 4. So tread lightly with my pick. I'll take the Guardians with Colby.
Really? But so you think, why do you like the Guardians here?
I just don't think they can blow. I think St. Louis was kind of a gimmick team all year long.
And they're McCarron has struggled as of late with the offense.
Public narrative
through 2 picks.
Public narrative.
Yeah. What's the narrative?
Well, they have to score all these points to get in.
The public.
Everyone's talking about it.
Everyone's talking about it.
Are they not?
Well, I mean, they could still get in without scoring.
But Dormandy, Colby, you keep talking about Dormandy. He's had 6 turnovers in the past 2 games.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a turnover machine, but he likes to fire that ball down the field, Sean. He
does.
He's
Unfortunately,
it's
going to the other team.
You missed a great opportunity to call our audience smart. Obviously, we're speaking to a smarter audience than the true public.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our community. You know,
we drink no squares here.
We drink our tea with our pinky out, nose up.
I'm taking the Battlehawks laying 9. I think they turn it on. I think this is the caw you expect. The Thunderdome of St. Louis will be rocking. They need this game. They need the points. The atmosphere is going to be electric, and that is Dormandy. That's again on the road. Are you kidding me? Dormandy is good for 10 points himself for the Battlehawks.
Oh no, man. He's going to be able to.
Oh wait. We didn't discuss it though. Like if the league's trying to so the league could try to fix
this for the Battlehawks.
St. Louis could win by 1, and then here's how it happens. Vegas beats Seattle, which Vegas, believe it or not, I don't know how they keep losing. They have been putting up major yardage in those games.
Sean, Vegas has been the team they've deployed to do the funny business.
Yeah.
Like that's the owner. They said, hey, buddy, I know we're all in the same partnership here. But we need you to go out there and do some funny business for us. I'm just kidding. I know they're all owned by the fucking league. 55% of the handle on the Guardians here, Sean. So unpopular favorite. Look at you, maybe on the right side. All right. So and real quick, be honest. Will you, if you had to pick one only, are you watching the Battlehawks Guardians? Or are you watching the Gamblers Breakers?
I'm on the Gamblers Breakers.
Sean?
Yeah.
You watching the USFL game?
I mean,
early?
I got
Obviously,
2 screens, but I mean,
I just got down on that Brahmas future, so
wow,
I'm in on it.
Sean was completely just. We're not even on that game yet, but he's beep, boop, 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 boop.
I'll.
We were deciding
the Battlehawks Guardians again. This is playoff time.
No.
This is when the XFL gets the most interest.
Yeah, we were discussing if you were going to watch this game or the Gamblers Breakers.
Well, and
I'll watch this.
There's also the Colorado spring game going on when it's a sellout and they're calling for snow. Oh, football is back, baby.
Dion
Let's
in the
go.
snow.
Look out.
That's an event in itself. Noon on the West Coast, heading to San Antonio, Texas, where the Brahmas, got to keep it straight between the leagues. Who actually plays at home and who doesn't? They're taking on the DC Defenders, now favored at +110 to win the whole thing. As Sean mentioned, the Brahmas 50-1 as we speak, +3 in this situation, +130 on the money line, -150 for the Defenders. 42 is the total. Money is massive. So 81% of the bets on DC, but only 39% of the money. This is a telltale sharp side. If you want to ever want to talk about one on Sean's Brahmas over here.
You got to look. CJ, shout out to CJ Sullivan. Bottom line bomb. Subscribe.
He's probably got a trend for this, huh?
Well, no, he swayed my opinion here because in a league that's right now. Here's how we're gonna know if it's fixed, right? They're competing against the USFL, correct?
Yes.
If San Antonio, which we know is a much worse team than DC,
yes.
If they were
much worse,
yes.
It's a 3-point spread and a must-win game.
Well, that's because DC is going to rest.
Well, DC doesn't need it.
This would be a 10-point spread probably without. But so the Houston Arlington game is irrelevant if San Antonio loses, and you need eyes to watch that game because they're competing against the USFL. So
interesting.
You got to have the Brahmas win this game. So Houston Arlington is interesting at the noon slot on ESPN.
That you're giving them credit.
Laid out a great case.
You're giving them credit for a lot of organization that we haven't seen. We laid out.
The Rock also owns
the Brahmas. That's his team. He's going to be the owner of. They're looking.
What
for
do you mean? He owns all the teams.
Yeah, but they're looking for independent ownership, and that's the team he's going to own.
Bullshit. Yeah. He owns all the teams. No way Rock's going to own a team in San Antonio. That's just not. I'm not believing that. They're named after the Rock. I agree, but I don't think they're. Anyway, yeah.
The chickens.
This is one. Yet it seems to look like a bull. I certainly like the idea of the future more. That I just don't think the XFL has executed anything well. We discussed this on the USFL show. And I think to execute something like this, you're talking about coordination. I think there's a chance that DC's backups are just going to go in there and be better.
I mean, there is. I'm going to take San Antonio. I'm buying into the Sullivan method.
Let's go.
Right.
Well, I'm a man in the box. Yeah. I think the Brahmas. I'm buying. I'm getting down on the 50-1 for the Brahmas to win the XFL championship. I think this is a fun angle. I mean, just if they get in the playoffs, they're a live dog at 50-1. And the defenders, what do we expect? Do we expect Cone to be playing, Colby?
For San Antonio, I would assume him and Paxton Lynch probably both see the field. For DC though, the question is Te'amo.
Yeah.
Do they go with De'Aaron King? I think they might. If so, maybe Te'amo plays for a little bit.
Yeah, but King might.
Yeah, I guess that better. And Cone had sucked for most of the year, but. He coming off his best game, 302 yards in a touchdown.
His life.
Yeah, probably of his life. I don't know how you get to this professional level being that bad at quarterback in general, but
God, I really don't want to take. Give me DC. They're backup. Give me DC.
Oh, feeling great now.
Sticks and stones. Sunday noon on the West Coast, Arlington, Texas. The Renegades taking on the Roughnecks. This is the beginning of our dream with our Renegades future, right? When do we hedge out of our Renegades future that we all decided was a good bet? That I'm somehow.
Well, when San Antonio loses, Arlington's in the playoffs automatically, so this game's irrelevant, right? But if San Antonio wins, like me and Sean think, then Arlington has to win, and I personally think Arlington's the better team anyway.
Well, then why are you?
Well, I'm confused.
So, all right, I'm taking Houston because I need Houston to win for my Brahmas future to stay alive.
All right,
and yeah,
that's a much better parlay though. Brahmas 50-1.
I mean, I this game, if San Antonio loses, I have no idea who wins this game. We need San Antonio to win because then.
Do you think the line moves?
I'll tell you this. Let me ask you this. Let's say San Antonio loses to DC. Okay. Houston and Arlington's going to stay vanilla and play backups because they play next week, right? You don't want to reveal your top plays.
So, so 100% they would play each other again because of that stupid. Like they don't do the crisscross.
Yeah. It makes this game really hard to handicap, essentially.
Yeah, because I guess it comes down to like who. Obviously, their rosters aren't that deep. They can't rest that many players. They have
but you wouldn't still run your best plays knowing that you have to play them next week.
Yeah, but exactly. So I guess that's why it's a coin flip.
This is where you just do
that's why the
run right, guys. Run right, run left. We're gonna throw a screen here.
Yeah, neither team can improve their position.
So Houston obviously can't do anything, and Arlington just basically win and get in, right?
Or if San Antonio loses Saturday night, they're automatically in. Yeah.
Then I'm taking Houston. Just because they're the better team, I think you want to establish some dominance. Wade Phillips has no off switch. Give me the Roughnecks +1.
I actually think Arlington is the better team. I'm going to take Arlington. I don't feel great about this game because I'm curious.
No, I mean, I guess that makes sense because if they do, they could. It'll be interesting to see if the Brahmas lose, how the spread will change. Don't bet
this until Sunday morning if you're betting this game.
I would say don't bet this regardless.
Yeah.
What? All right. So could could Houston be catching more points? What's the scenario where Houston is catching more points?
I would say if San Antonio wins,
then
because then it puts it makes it a must win for Arlington. So Arlington's going to go balls to the wall. Houston has nothing to play for. Thus, Houston should be catching like 7 points. But again, I don't think any of that shit applies because all these guys are playing for their lives.
So if you're betting San Antonio, you should just parlay it to Arlington. Is what you're saying. If you like Arlington as well.
Yeah. Did you see the players didn't want to unionize? Was interesting. Did you see that?
I mean,
I'm always fascinated by stuff like that.
Their take home checks probably aren't that big. So if you're
the USFL players unionize,
if you're paying union dues on top of that,
interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, I would imagine the league that has a better chance to succeed probably is collectively bargaining with the union. So another check against the XFL. We're not supposed to say all these mean things. Give me you know what? I think you're right if you like San Antonio. San Antonio loses. Give me Houston. See what I did there?
I did.
I gave you credit for having good logic, and then I took the other side.
I'm on Houston all day.
Let's 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Another little head-to-head matchup. We have the Michigan Panthers and Philadelphia Stars also playing at the same time on Sunday. This game's up in Seattle, where the Dragons of the Sea take on the Vipers. We'll have to see if these Vipers are amphibious. Seattle Sea Dragons, you can still get them at 425 to win the whole thing. -8.5 here, -380 on the money line. Vegas +310. 447 is the total.
Smash that over.
So it's another situation. Well, it's another situation where this could, if Orlando upsets St. Louis, they don't need to do anything. If St. Louis,
no, they have to win. They have to win.
If they both lose.
Oh yeah, you're right, because of the tiebreaker.
Yeah, no. So if Orlando wins, Seattle doesn't have to do anything. They can lose.
It's probably not completely.
No, but they can't lose by that much.
They'd have to. They'd have to lose by less than 3 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about that.
Because St. Louis would have would also have a negative point differential from this week, so it'd have to be like a 3 touchdown blowout, which is very unlikely. So I would say if Orlando wins, then Seattle doesn't need the game at all.
But
basically,
wait, I thought they had the same record.
They do.
Okay.
But if they end up tied, and what you're saying is true, they hold the tiebreaker, and they would have like
now by 19 points.
So if St. Louis loses by only 1, they'd still that's a 20 point. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think if that happens, this spread probably goes to close to a coin flip because Seattle wouldn't have to play for anything. If St. Louis wins, then we'll understand. They'll understand by how much they have to win by.
I think it's total points also. I think it's also so for what I see here. So St. Louis total points versus Orlando, 19 more points than Seattle versus Orlando. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So they have to if they outscore St. Louis by 19 points this weekend, it doesn't matter the outcome of the games.
Okay.
So think of it that way. So if they both lose, as long as Seattle isn't outscored by 19 points, they're good.
They're in. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So St. Louis not only has to win, they have to outscore Seattle by 19 points. I think Seattle.
So Seattle's going guns blazing then, right?
Unless Orlando's already beaten the Battlehawks.
Yeah, but we think St. Louis will win.
Vegas has also been the team they've deployed to do the funny business.
Well, Vegas is the team, like honestly, like best offense in the league the past couple of weeks is definitely Vegas.
We haven't even talked about Ben DiNucci, the most crooked man in the Extreme Football League. As you guys say on the XFL Gambling Podcast, everybody eats when DiNucci's around. The offense, the defense. The guy's a turnover feast. I'm reading this write up on the XFL. As long as Ben DiNucci can play clean football, the Sea Dragons will win. Yeah, but that's the problem. Ben DiNucci don't play clean football. You got to look at like every game he's won. They've also not covered.
I'll tell you this:
Las Vegas by a mile.
I've never been a big DiNucci guy, but damn, he ran over that safety last week, man. He's winning my heart over to get into the end zone. He completely runs over a safety. I did not think lawn chairs could do that. I mean, come on. He had a moment where I really became a fan.
And we got the tragic magic.
That's true.
Fallen teammate, like. I guess there are in the range of outcomes, Sean. There possibility they buckle because they're thinking about stuff that isn't football. But
in case the audience doesn't know, Chris Smith, Sea Dragon, passed away this past week.
But there's the more likely scenario, which is in sport. This is the ultimate thing that galvanizes the team, no matter the state of that team. And so, if this team was close, I think this turns up the temperature a couple degrees, and the metal starts forming correctly.
I just don't like the Vipers. Shing. The Vipers getting 8.5 is just way too much for me for their offense.
Oh wow!
And
agree,
with Danucci's ability to create, just dare I say, knack for creating turnovers.
I don't know what has happened that Vegas ended up losing the past 2 weeks. They looked a lot better than both teams. Seattle,
2-7.
St. Louis. They looked a lot better in St. Louis and a lot better than Houston. They lost both games.
Yeah, they're going to lose, but I think they're going to cover.
You want an interesting trend for the Vegas Vipers?
What's that?
They haven't won on the road yet. Good luck. Good luck.
Fang gang.
No,
cutting loose.
You're embarrassing yourself.
What do we got? Whoa, we got some rain all day Sunday too, huh?
Love it.
Well, Ryan's just Ryan. You pretend like you're giving an analysis. We know you're just gonna give your Seattle Sea Dragons lock at -8.5. You don't have to pretend.
I'm just staying consistent.
You don't have to pretend like you have other factors in mind.
I have a couple other factors, but I do like Seattle this week. I think
our future's looking all right.
Well, the variability of some of the other games makes it very difficult to lock it up. That I would say that. But if you're asking me to identify my best bet of the weekend, it's the Seattle Sea Dragon Vegas Viper over.
Oh wow, you're turning into a totals guy.
I love the over too.
But we're not totals guys here. So give me Seattle -8.5, baby.
All right, time for the lock and dog. Kramer's got Seattle. No shock there.
Throw it into a teaser. I love the value getting it across all those key numbers.
What about your dog?
I recently tried. They don't allow teasers on the XFL. I think the Orlando money line is very funny or very fun. This is a St. Louis Battlehawk team that, while it's the obvious X-Files theme music, please, conspiracy that let's get them in, they're basically out. They're basically out. And I'm sure someone explained the stupid tiebreaker to them. So get a 3-1 spring football game.
Strong chance Anthony Beck didn't understand the tiebreaker.
I mean, offensive linemen are generally smarter than we give them credit for.
He was a tight end.
That's. I mean, he was an offensive lineman at some point, but he was too athletic, so they moved him to tight end. I love Orlando at 3-1.
That's a big dog. That's a spicy meatball.
I mean, I guess not all of us are willing to step out like that.
All right, for my lock, I'm going to go Brahmas +3. Also like them on the money line, but I'm going to step out on a ledge.
No way.
AKA a cliff. We're going to go hunting for dragons with our venomous Vipers. Give me Las Vegas celebrating the new acquisition of the Oakland A's, now Vegas A's.
Terrible.
Great for the city of Las Vegas.
Terrible.
Sean, you know what happened?
Why is it terrible?
The A's are one of the originals baseball.
But Oakland doesn't want the team.
No, the owners fucked them. The owners fucked the city and the fans.
So?
Because they first
suck.
off, the city should not have to step up and pay for these fucking teams.
I agree.
All right,
but
this
then
is
go to the games.
No, they have earned this. They have earned that their fans should be pissed and not show up.
Well, then you move the team if you don't have any fans.
No, you got to keep that
It's
team.
the story
there.
of Oakland.
But why would you keep the team there if no fans are going to?
No, it's because their owners were scumbags to them. You of all people with Dan Snyder should understand this.
They did pioneer we can just collect checks from the Yankees and other rich teams and not reinvest it.
Yeah, I mean that's why you need a salary cap floor. That's why you need a salary cap.
This was a great baseball fan base for a long time.
Yeah, but it's not anymore.
You don't move the A's. All right.
All right.
The Oakland Coliseum's fucking gorgeous.
Oh,
all
it's
right.
really
Is it
not,
still
though.
what teams play there?
None. Oakland Invaders, baby. USFL. Let's
Colby's
go.
favorite football team plays on a baseball.
It's by
field.
far the best football stadium in Northern California.
Sean, you know
what else is it competing with?
You got the Niners bullshit.
Sean,
oh yeah, Levi's Stadium sucks.
Yeah.
What happens if you take the wings or fins and arms and legs off of a dragon? You get
it's
a
just
snake.
A snake.
Exactly.
It's about to get
useless. Snakes don't even have arms, legs, wings. It's not gonna be able to swim around in the Pacific Northwest.
The fire breathing
in the
of
Puget Sound.
The fire breathing of a dragon does not work underwater. It makes no sense.
You might want to do some upkeep on your dragon knowledge. An underwater dragon absolutely can. It's waterproof flame.
Colby, what do you got?
This one's tough because I have a future on Seattle, right? But
what do you mean?
I think you're onto something, Green.
Oh my God.
Give me the Brahmas as the lock.
You guys are
the dog. Fang Gang.
what are you
Let's go.
Look at us hanging out in the different bathrooms together.
Colby knows a winner in the season.
Christ.
He knows a guy hitting 63% of his XFL locks.
They'll beat the Seahorses.
I watch him. He goes right into both. Doesn't matter the sign on the outside.
Hey,
fucking savage.
Make sure you check out the Jeremy Roenick interview. Awesome episode. Jeremy was a true.
#Legends only.
A lot of great stories. Gambling with Jordan, getting his teeth knocked out. Just a true hockey guy. Got a interesting story on Barkley as well.
Strongly encourage the watch too, because you definitely see some of the stories are really companioned well by his facial.
Yeah, we need to get some. We need to get some.
He
Roenick.
loves gambling. Like the way he talks.
He had great reactions to some of the questions. We need to get some Roenick gifts.
I think he's into gambling. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Which is cool.
Check that out.
You could tell he was into us immediately because we have gambling in our name.
Very easy sell to Jeremy. Smash that subscribe button and tune in next week. It is the draft week.
Wait.
SGPN draft week. We're going to be doing podcasts, mock drafts, a live reaction show with the NFL draft round 1. Ton of fun. YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast. Stay subscribed there so you don't miss a minute.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green, and he is Ryan.
Just realized we might not have time to cover the first round of the XFL playoffs next week.
Kramer, let it ride.